company's insistence on maintaining its free tier was born from the success of YouTube's model. The problem now is the relationship.
I
Is the
got.
relationship
I'm subscribed to them. I gotta cancel my subscription. I'm wasting money every month with
with the
Spotify.
Spotify?
Yeah, I got Spotify and I got something else that I'm paying for.
I've never even tried
Yeah, I
Spotify.
gotta cancel that shit. Wasting money. It's good, but I don't. I'm not using it.
If it was good, I had canceled mine too.
Yeah, I'm gonna cancel it, man.
So this seems like he actually is looking for something bigger because this is saying that is where Spotify and Apple are complaining all the time that they have to have a very broad and wide free tier in order to compete because of YouTube. So I guarantee what he's doing,
Zero four
YouTube
zero
right now
zero.
is giving Spotify and Apple because they have you paying for it, right?
Yeah.
Apple Tunes or whatever
Yeah.
it's called.
Two one
So
four
people are
two
paying for
seven
that
two
premium, but YouTube is still not
zero
premium.
four
So
zero
he's
zero.
trying to bring YouTube
That's
together.
it.
And I mean, he's not saying it, but I guarantee you, once he gets YouTube to the point of where there's a premium, now he can sell it between the three or create a larger conglomerate between the three and corner the market on the whole thing.
All right, let's explain that. All right, all praises. Let me know when you're ready.
Because it's always about content. It's always about putting it together.
Hello, hello, hello. Hey, shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom.
All praise.
What's your name? Where you calling from? Yes, I'm Soldier Jonathan. I like to say I'm a Capricorn. Yeah, you got the wrong radio station, bro.
Now Jay Z isn't the he's. They say Jay Z is of course the public face of titles ownership structure. So Jay don't own that. Remember when they were saying that he owns
Title.
the Barkley, and then you find out he's not really the owner of the Barkley. They just
You know, even Nets, he was at like 1% owner,
right,
2%. It was that Russian billionaire.
but they use him as the face.
He's from Brooklyn.
Damn.
What music come out of Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx?
Whatever.
So he's Brooklyn, man. You know he gonna ride with Brooklyn, man. In my short time up there, man, I used to love it. I only went to Queens once. I went to the Bronx a couple of times. Bronx was stupid. Bronx was stupid. As soon as you get off the train, they trying to sell you dope over there. I used to be like, damn.
Pretty sure some other stuff.
Kev, you got to help your woman, man. You a natural, man. So
Hmm?
I wouldn't change your formula if I was you. You be nice, but you go out there, you seem more genuine like that.
Yeah, yeah. But I try to write stuff down. Like I got this guy up here, and I forgot why I put him there. I gotta show you. Find this shit.
So the global has made me worldwide. So that means any of the YouTube France, YouTube.
Hey, you could take down the article with J Electronica. I'm not gonna show that. It's redundant. So we good to go? All right, everything's
Sure, we're not gonna have
curses.
any commercials.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's gonna be some curses. I'm gonna let everybody know. Some of the interviews, certain colorful language are used. Please be advised. We have virgin ears.
Why do I want to pretend to be so?
forward it to 6 minutes and then hold it. Irv Gotti's brother. Right there. Yeah. 6 minutes. So we're gonna open up with the definition of culture vulture. And then
We're going right into it.
hey, did I send you the Yeah, going live. Everything I know is from him, bro. Y'all ready?
No, wait. What did you want the video at for the?
Irv Gotti,
No, the Breakfast Club.
49 minutes. 49:00.
You're gonna see his screen all day, so you're gonna see all the things.
Okay.
You're not gonna see yourself today.
All right. So how's the internet with the new computer? Going good? Up to your liking? Good. Damn, we definitely started. All the time, especially when you get a phone call.
All right. We're going right into it.
Yeah, we gotta get another intro, man. But let's go right into it.
Let's start down. Ready? Ready, go.
Shalom, Most High in Christ bless Israel. Most High in Christ bless. Another episode of In the Scripts Reloaded. All right, and to my right, I have. It got to be on. There we go.
Cool.
All right, Soji Yakub is our newest addition, and of course, right here to my left,
Soldier Shema, shalom.
Soldier Shema. All right. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Finally, we're able to get into this subject. We were supposed to do this topic like 3 or 4 weeks ago, but I kept on pushing it off because of last-minute circumstances. But today we're gonna talk about the hip hop culture vultures, and everybody loves hip hop, right? Everybody loves hip hop. They say hip hop is our culture, the culture of the blacks. Well, our true culture is God's laws, all right? That's what we base our foundation on. Get me that real quick in Psalms 147, verse 19. Our culture as men of the Lord and women of the Lord is God's commandments. That's our true culture. Hip-hop is not our culture, okay? At least not the hip-hop of today, because it's straight garbage, all right? All these drill music, the black-on-black violence, the drugs, the twerking, that is not our culture, all right? That's what hip-hop turned into. Prior to the beginning of the 90s, the early 90s, hip-hop was very self-conscious. You had groups like Public Enemy and so forth. That was the kind of music our people were making until crack came on the scene. The institution with prison systems, and cashing off the crime that blacks were committing changed the whole music to what we have it today. All right, but let's read our culture real quick in the Bible. Psalms 147:19.
The book of Psalms, chapter 147 and verse 19. Bring it out! He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
So the Bible says, many of us are familiar with the scripture. It says, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his laws, his statutes, and commandments unto Israel. Read.
He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
So the Most High never dealt with any other nations. He gave the care of his word only to the Israelites.
That's right.
So we got off those cargo slave ships. What did we start to do? We start to integrate with the other nations, mainly the so-called white man. So now we take on his culture, his identity, and in doing so, while we integrated and assimilated with him, what happened is we tried to establish some self identity. So that's where the whole hip hop thing came because we were the true dancers.
That's
You
right.
seen Esau dance? Esau can't dance.
Right,
The bishop did a class where he had Israelite singers, Israelite dancers, and he showed Amalek.
That was
Right.
terrible.
If many of you who don't know, Amalek is the so-called Jewish people today. And the reason we say so-called because the Bible says that they're not the real Jews. The real Jews are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives.
That's right.
Okay? And we were the true dancers, the true singers, just like in the book of Psalms. Okay? Even the angels up there in heaven sing to the Most High.
Right.
All right? You can find that in the book of Revelations. Okay? So while we integrated and assimilated into European society, we wanted that self-identity. So what we did, we established hip-hop culture for ourselves. The beatbox with the mouth and so forth, the dancing, the self-righteous, self-conscious music. All right? But all of that has been perverted because of culture vultures who want to monetize off our foolishness. Okay? They monetize off our foolishness, and that's what's going on. And they never, ever, ever reinvest back into the black community.
No.
Never. Okay? Get me Matthew 5:13. First, let's read the definition of culture vulture. All right. This is from the Urban Dictionary, because the word culture vulture is a term that we came up with. All right? Culture vulture in the Urban Dictionary. It says someone who steals traits, language, and or fashion from another ethnic or social group in order to create their own identity. Go down. Let's get the second definition. I like the first one, but I like this one too. It says a person or an organization making profit using unhonorable practices from a culture they do not care for. Does that sound familiar, brothers and sisters? Absolutely. That's where you get drill music in Chicago, brothers and sisters killing each other, making drill music because they actually live in that life. And record labels, these small little record labels, are making money off of it. Right. Or even you have the artist, also known as Young Thug, that likes to dress like a woman,
Right.
tattoos all over the place, gang banging, talking about this, talking about that. Who profits off of that, really? Because they might give him a little chump change from the touring money, the little monies that he makes from the clubs and so forth. But the real money are these execs.
Exactly.
And a majority of these execs, besides you have Russell Simmons, P. Diddy, but P. Diddy is under a label himself.
Right.
Bad Boy Records is under Def Jam, correct?
Right.
So you have Russell Simmons, you have Chris Lighty passed away, Kevin Lyles. These are names that our people are really not familiar with. And those two are brothers. Kevin Lyles is a brother, right?
Right. Right.
Okay, those two are brothers. But
You still have from used to be with the deal. Used to be Arista Records. What's the guy? He was the one that put Outkast on. He's a brother over in Atlanta. I can't think of his name right now.
Outkast on?
Yeah, he was the one.
But
put
a
Outkast on.
majority of these execs, Soldier Shema, they're all European, mainly Jewish,
Exactly.
with exception to Jimmy Levine or Iovine, whatever they call him. I think he's Italian.
Jimmy Iovine.
Jimmy Iovine, he's Italian, but everybody else happens to be a so-called Jew.
Right.
I wonder why. All right. So it says a person or an organization making profit using unhonorable practices from a culture they do not care for. Okay? An example in music, major record labels signing the latest viral rapper, exploiting them for the max returns even if their music sucks.
Wow.
Yes, and the music now sucks.
Exactly.
That's why we're making music in Israel. Y'all want to hear righteous music? Go to Original Royalty. Check other brothers and sisters in Israel who make music.
That's
you got
right.
the Benjavites. You got Deacon Abiel. You got Solomon the Jew.
That's right.
You got a lot of brothers and sisters who make music in Israel.
Fervent Heat from Detroit, them Detroit boys.
There we go.
There.
All right, with what's the brother? With Samson. All right, we got a lot of good music. And we ain't talking about gang banging.
Right.
We ain't talking about popping mollies, twerking, or the brother down the block that you gonna split his wig open the next time you see him. We don't make music like that. We make music that's of God.
That's right.
But that kind of music will never be on the forefront because it's not profitable. Not only are our people wicked as hell, but it's not profitable for the other nations. And they don't want to see us come together with a collective mind, right, in holiness. They want to see us to continue to put out the filth like 6ix9ine,
Right.
continue to put out the filth like Chief Keef,
Right.
and all that garbage music, because that's exactly what it is, garbage music, destroying the minds of the youth. And they won't stop. They're not going to stop because they're making too much money. Exactly. Even the artists themselves are not going to stop. Even the artists themselves.
Well, when you take an artist like a Cardi B, who goes from being a stripper with no fame, and put her in the limelight, and now she's traveling around the world, connected to every big executive and anybody else in the world. People are actually praising her like she's somebody. Then she has no reason at this point, because she came from what she perceived to be the gutter, not realizing she still lives in the gutter.
She's still in the gutter with a silver spoon in her mouth. That's the only difference. All right, that's the only difference. Hey, Soldier Shaman.
Yes, sir.
Real quick on your phone, find me the statement. We don't gotta put it up, but just find me the statement that Eric Benet said recently about the artist. You know what I'm talking about?
I think I do.
Yeah, find that if you can. And Soldier, I need you to get me Matthew 5:13.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're gonna dive into this topic. All right, of culture vultures. Hip hop is dead, or hip hop culture vultures. Either or, hip hop is dead. Okay, and the Most High is raising up his prophets to revive real music on this earth.
That's right.
All right, come on.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 13. Read out. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted?
You hear that? It says, ye are the salt of the earth. Who's that making reference to? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. It's us. We make the best music. Whatever genre of music we get into, whether it be rock, whether it be house, and house was created by so-called black people anyway, but whether it be even heavy metal, whatever, guess what? We will dominate. We will dominate because the Most High put that in our spirit. That was something that we were born with. All right? That's why in the book of Exodus says, they said that the children of Israel are more lively. We are that living soul. It's us. That's making reference to us. Now, when you don't put salt in your food, what happens? What kind of taste would you get?
Bland,
terrible, disgusting, putrid. But God said, if you remove the children of Israel from the earth, the whole earth will be bland. But we are the salt of the earth. Read it again.
Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted?
You hear that? God said, if the earth lost its savior, wherewith shall it be salted? All right? We are the ones that add flavor.
That's right.
All right? We add flavor to this thing.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And they know that. That's why they exploit you, and that's why they're called culture vultures. But this is why Eric Benet said what he said. Read that.
This article is from Atlanta Black Star. It says, Eric Benet blames white supremacy for the way some rappers behave. Not everyone's buying it. Eric Benet has a message for some of today's rap stars. The singer posted what he referred to as an inconvenient truth. It was like on Sunday, August the 5th. It spawned to heavy support online. Rap artists, if all you rap about is killing black people, degrading black women, abusing drugs, materialization, living a low life, you are not an artist.
You hear that? And he's absolutely right. If you contribute or partake in the demise of your people with songs about killing, songs about adultery, songs about drugs, guess what? You are not an artist.
That's right.
You are not an artist. You're still pushing and supporting the agenda of white supremacy. Right. That's all you're doing. Okay, and he's 100% correct on that. And he's been catching a lot of backlash because of his comment. But he's 100% right.
And he goes on to say, you are a black face for white supremacy. You are being used to help destroy your own people.
You hear that? You hear that? And I pray our brothers repent. Hey, Nicki Minaj recently said she realized what her music was doing to young sisters. How she was promoting adultery and so forth. But guess what? She's not going to stop. Right after that, she made a song with 6ix9ine, some ice cream song. They in a video licking on the same ice cream. She's half naked. They ain't gonna stop. The paper's too much. The paper's too much. That's why the scripture says the love of money is the root of all evil. Not money's the root of all evil, but the love of money is the root of all evil, meaning you'll stop at nothing to acquire that money because you have a covetous soul. You have a covetous soul. All right? So let's get into some culture vultures. Let's get into some culture vultures. All right? Numero uno. Numero uno culture vulture is Lyor Cohen or Lyor Cohen. All right? And Officer Liam out of New York and also Deacon Malachi recently, not too long ago, within the past month or so or 2 months, they discussed this topic too. All right, about the hip hop industry and so forth. This is the interview that Lyor Cohen, I call him Lyor Cohen because that's exactly what he is, and the Bible says that. Just in case we got how they call them, the ADL, the D, whatever, those groups that be following, those Jewish organization that be trying to watch people online for so-called hate speech. Can we get Revelation 2 verse 9, please?
Yes, sir.
So we might be justified in our saying, as the Bible says. Okay, this is what Jesus Christ, the black Messiah of the true Jews, said about those who call themselves Jews. Come on.
The book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 9. Read out. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews.
So Christ said he knows the blasphemy of them who say they are Jews. Come on.
And are not.
But are what?
But are the synagogue of Satan.
And the synagogue of Satan, as we know, brothers and sisters, always lie. Even when they tell the truth, they lie.
Right.
Press play.
Was devastating. At least the rappers were bringing a spotlight to you becoming a fiend. Right. Okay? And I thought that spotlight, head crack, helped, even though it was harsh and really really rough, particularly on women. But I think it helped change the course of the crack epidemic. I don't know what's this opioid thing, man.
So press pause real quick. Whatever we're not utilizing no more, just exit out. Like the culture vulture definition, don't keep it up there. Close it out. Whatever we're not utilizing anymore, close it out. Okay? So it doesn't slow down the internet. So he's talking about those brothers in hip hop, the artists who struggle with drugs. He knows that they're pushing the drug culture. Back then it was crack. Although crack, I don't know too many artists that was pushing crack. I never heard of that. Right. But now they have lean, you know, the syrup. They pushing that. Right. They pushing Molly in music. A lot of artists are catching seizures on private planes, being rushed to the hospital. They pushing weed, of course, alcoholism, and so forth. So these are the things that he's discussing. Right now, we're at the 49-minute mark. Those of you following online, you can watch it at home from the beginning. I just wanted to get to the point. This is Lyor Cohen's interview on the Breakfast Club. He is one of the main culture vulture execs. This man is a powerful Jewish man in the industry. A very powerful man in the industry. All right? Come on.
Cool back then. Being a crackhead wasn't cool. Now they seem like they're making it cool to be drinking lean and syrup and
it's the most dangerous. It's the most dangerous thing that's facing our society.
So why sign an artist that would promote that?
There we go. There we go. Oh, he's about to live. You see how he had his mouth open? He was gaping for a minute. He had to catch his wind to gather the lies together. All right. Usually Charlemagne, when he this brother doesn't like Israelites, by the way, but Lord willing, he repents. But usually they go hard on their guests. Right. But this dude was comfortable. In the beginning, if you watch it, he was sunning them. He was sunning them. They couldn't tell him nothing. Why? Because this program is probably more than likely owned by a Jewish person. Right. Okay? So he's comfortable. Right. He's comfortable right now. All right? Press play.
Because I already answered that question. You weren't paying attention. She asked me talent or issues, and I said talent. But I have to I can't give up on people.
He said,
I'm saying
hold
that's
on, press
hypocr-
pause. He said, she asked me. He's talking about the other sister in there. I think her name is Lisa. Is her name Lisa? Yeah.
Lisa,
So he
Kind of
said,
sound like he checked him a little bit.
yeah. He said you ain't paying attention.
Right.
I already answered that. Right. He said I'll take talent over the issue. So they might be a crackhead, but if opportunity presents itself in this brother, although he's a crackhead, he can sell a lot of records and I can use him and then dismiss him. Guess what? I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna try to help him and treat and give him some kind of therapy, rehab, so he can get off the crack, the molly, the scissor. I'm gonna just use him for his talent and dismiss him.
Get that money.
Get that bread. Come on.
What? You're saying the
it's
opioid problem's a problem.
opportunistic.
Yeah.
I got people to feed.
Oh, stop. He said, am I I'm telling you, they have no problem. When you run the world, get me Job. You know what I want, right?
Yes, sir.
When you run the world, when you're sitting on the power seat, your peasants, the people under you, they can't tell you nothing.
Wow.
Some people, they would actually try to rephrase it or try to go around it. He's saying straight up, opportunist? Oh, yeah, I'm an opportunist.
Right.
I got my people. The people that he has to feed is making reference to his people.
That's right.
His people. That's what is making reference to. His wife, his kids, his people, his Jewish people. Okay? The people on the record labels with him. His colleagues.
Sound like he embracing being a culture vulture.
Yeah, they can't tell him nothing.
It's not a shame.
Look at DMX. These guys ate off of DMX. And look at DMX now. DMX is horrible now. DMX is destroyed. You know what I mean? At DMX is, if you look up anything on DMX now, he's destroyed. And this guy had his hands in part of it because, you know, they always feed with each other.
Exactly.
They eat with each other. So he had his hands in it. So basically he's saying, yeah, I know DMX was destroyed, but I got mouths to feed. I got money I got to make.
Yeah, white supremacy has to continue under our reign. And, you know, sorry, Negro, there's nothing we could do about it. Wow. That's basically what he's saying. All right, hit play.
I got a business to run.
You're gonna make Dame Dash take this clip and call you a culture vulture.
Who's Dame Dash? You brought him up. I don't even know him.
Damn.
So
now press pause. You know that's a damn lie. Right. He said, "Who's Dame Dash? I don't even know him." Whoa. And this is somebody that he ate with when Dame Dash was over there on Rockefeller Records.
Right.
Okay, this is somebody that he helped. This is somebody that he knew. They went to banquets together. They went to many meetings together. But now he's throwing them under the bridge. Why? Because there's no more use of Dame Dash. Right. Dame Dash is, I'm not going to say broke, because I don't know the man's lifestyle as far as, I don't know how much money he has, so that's none of my business. I'm not going to say he's broke, but he's not on the Jay-Z level, who's almost $1 billion, worth $1 billion, who stayed back. And then Def Jam, Rockefeller was given back to him. And then he became, wasn't he the vice president or something for Def Jam at one time?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's when Dame Dash left Kareem Biggs left and so forth. And it was just Jay standing there. Okay? And it's crazy. It's crazy. Let's hit play. Come on.
His name up. I don't even know him. So
y'all made a lot of money together.
Made a lot of
money.
money.
Come on, Leo. Don't do that to him.
I don't know him. Wow. I really don't. So, I don't know what to tell you. I won't be complicit, but I will, you know, if a guy's super talented, I'm hopeful. I believe that with my help, my efforts, I could help. They told me when Professor Griff went nuts in Montreux, Switzerland, talking about the caucus.
The lot of ums is he's trying to gather his thoughts so he could more lies to spew. Now he's about to go into the situation with Professor Griff in the late 80s. All right, there was a interview. It was actually a concert first. Then it was an interview that the brother gave Professor Griff. And what happened is Professor Griff was very articulate. He was very eloquent. And he was an avid reader. He read a lot of books. And then during that time, there was a book, an excellent book, put out by the Nation of Islam, The Relationship Between the Blacks and the Jews, Volume 1.
Right.
And it stirred a lot of people, ruffled a lot of feathers. It ruffled a lot of Jewish feathers. And a Jewish claw came down on anybody who advocated that book.
Right.
But that book was not written by the Nation of Islam with no sightings, no quotations, no bibliography. All their sources were Jewish books.
Wow.
Wow.
So basically, Professor Griff said how they had a hand in our slavery. They financed the slave ships. They financed the bodies. A lot of them were in charge of the auctioning blocks. Many of the auctioning blocks in Charleston, South Carolina, mainly, was closed on the Sabbath. He was exposing all of that in his interviews. And the Jewish claw came down on him by way of the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. Then you have B'nai B'rith. And you have all these other organizations. Some of them are probably watching online right now. They came down on him, and basically they put pressure on Def Jam to get rid of Professor Griff.
Right, I
Because remember, Public Enemy had a 2-year, like a hardcore 2-year run.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
They was on top of the billboards.
No
Everybody was loving them dudes. And they were speaking black power. They had the song Fight the Power.
the Power.
They had all of that.
Don't
And
believe the hype.
exactly. And what happened is, all right, I'm going to jump the gun, but what happened is they sent him, the tall Israeli who runs the hip-hop business, they sent Lyor Cohen to talk to Chuck D about the situation. Now, when he spoke to Chuck D about the situation, a couple of days later or weeks later, you find out that Professor Griff was being removed from the group.
Yeah.
And there was a big meeting about it, but Professor Griff was not at the meeting. If you're going to kick the man out of a group that he was with, at least have him present to speak his piece.
Exactly.
So he came down and he bought Chuck D. This is where they try to rock you to sleep. He came down and he bought Chuck D to the Holocaust Museum to get that sympathy from him.
Right.
Okay? But why not bring Professor Griff too?
Right.
Don't just have a meeting with Chuck D and bring him to the Holocaust Museum. Why not bring Professor Griff too?
And the S1Ws.
Exactly, but they knew they couldn't get at him like that.
Exactly.
They knew they could not. He knew because Professor Griff said he had many talks with Lyor Cohen and all the other Jewish execs, and they would go at it like in a friendly manner. They'll go at it, who's the real Jews or not.
Right.
Their involvement in the slave trade, and stuff like that, and they would just laugh it off. But whenever Esau laughed, I always tell people that when Esau laughed, they mad as hell inside. Right. And the giggling and the laughter is just to mask it.
You hit a button.
Hey, Cap, get that script you was getting in Job. We never brought it out.
Yeah, let's bring that out. Get that scripture,
It
please.
says, the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. Read out. The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked.
The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. Okay? That's why he's able to come in there and talk that talk and walk that walk with no repercussions. That's actually his studio, probably.
Right, exactly.
He probably owned the building.
Right.
Read.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
So he covereth the faces of the judges thereof, the true judges of this earth. You have God, Christ, the angels, the disciples, and the Israelites. We are the
right.
true judges.
That's
and our
right.
face have been covered and smeared with the whitewashing and the lies. Okay? So that's exactly what the Bible is talking about. All right? Press play.
Mountains and monkeys and everything like that. They told every single executive, Jewish executive.
Hey, stop.
told me that.
I got to interject again. He said, Professor Griff said that they came from the mountains and monkeys. You did. Yeah, Khazar. You
That's
came from the
right.
Caucasus Mountains.
That's right.
Georgia
The
Rush.
name Caucasian comes from the Caucasus Mountain. He's saying it as if it's a lie, but it's the truth. It's
Right.
documented. Black Sea, Caspian Sea, Caucasus Mountain. You can see it on any map. Is this something that we're making up?
Not at all.
Professor
all.
Griff ain't make it up.
Not at
But
all.
that's what the culture vultures do. That's what the culture vultures do. Okay, come on.
Public enemy and not work with them. You know what I did? I brought Chuck to the Holocaust Museum.
There we go.
So no, I don't. Problems is problems. I try to fix problems. I try to sign great talent and then help them.
Now,
Well,
you have
I
been,
wanna
you have
bring-
been
I wanna-
called a culture vulture. I'm going to say
Yes.
that. Now, how do you respond to, because people have called you a culture vulture before.
I'm 37 years doing this. So there's good,
He's been raping and
Ooh,
pillaging
boy.
the business
So-
for 37 years. That's basically what he's saying. He's like, I've been doing this 37. You guys are millennials. You guys are newbies. Y'all can't talk to me. You're not on my level.
He completely diverted from the original question, though, where he openly said, I'm good with murdering them as long as I make my money.
Absolutely.
He's on something totally different. He said it, and then
They forgot about it.
Yeah,
Look
and they
at
forgot.
look at Charlemagne the God. He looked like he's in the sunken place right now.
Right.
Look at that face. He's just gone. He don't know what to ask.
He's so
He
disappointed
got a
in
book
his
in the
God.
he got a book in the back. It looked like he published called Charlemagne the God Black Privilege. There ain't no black privilege. Our black privilege, or I should say our Israelite privilege, is gonna come once we start keeping these commandments and we inherit the kingdom.
That's right.
All right, come on, press play.
when you're 37 years and continuously inventing yourself and winning, people don't, there's a small subset of people that don't like those people. That their fortunes may not have reinvented themselves, that are upset. But like I said, I don't really pay attention to them. The first time that I ever heard that Dame Dash had an issue with me
Stop.
was my...
You hear that? You hear the lies? He said he didn't know Dame Dash. Now he's saying the first. All you gotta do is just let them talk. Sit back. He said, "Oh, who's Dame Dash? Who's that?
Right.
Who is he? I don't know him." Now he's saying the first time I heard Dame Dash had an issue with me. Go ahead.
daughter called me up and asked me, who's Dame Dash? I don't pay attention.
People feel like you broke up Rockefeller. That's what they say.
He
You
did.
got in Jay's ear.
Same way
and
he
told him to get away
broke up Public Enemies. The same strategy he used to break up Public Enemy, taking one Negro. That's the. I'm telling you, that is the old divide and conquer. Give me Zephaniah 2 verse 1. That's why the scriptures say this. Zephaniah 2 verse 1. Let Shema get it. Okay. Zephaniah 2 verse 1. Okay. They come in, they divide and conquer. The same thing he did to Public Enemies. Come in, whisper in Chuck D's ear, get rid of Professor Griff. Right? Come in, whisper in Jay's ear, Dame Dash falls off. Rockefeller got broken up. It's the old conquer and divide. But it's a new day. It's a new day. In Israel, there will be no conquer and divide. That's why we teach about loyalty. Okay? The wicked Negroes amongst us, you can leave. The unloyal Negroes amongst us, you can leave. The other nations trying to come in and infiltrate, guess what? You ain't going to infiltrate nothing.
Not at all.
Okay? Because it's already a winning battle. All right? We know the end of this. We know the end of it. All we got to do is just remain loyal. Zephaniah 2 verse 1. Come on.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Bring it out. Gather yourself together. Yea, gather together, O nation, not desire.
God is commanding us to gather together, not only under his commandments, but in everything. Okay? Whether it be economics, building, agricultural, family, gather together, even putting out music. I don't know why, to tell you the truth, I don't know why everybody just don't fall under the umbrella of original royalty. That's where it was set up. As artists, put your music on original royalty. But no, like the bishop always says, he gives an example. I love this example. You have a tree. You have the biggest tree on the planet. The Babylonian tree. We trying to knock it down, but every brother got an axe, but they hitting the tree in different places. Why not pick one spot? Why not pick one spot? But you got brothers trying to doing their own thing, and that's what makes this fight harder.
Longer.
Exactly, and longer. We on a treadmill trying to run to the finish line, but that speed keep increasing, and that incline increases. Brothers make things hard. Why not everybody, all the brothers, get on original royalty and push their music? But everybody's faith is different. Everybody's faith is different. Okay? You read that? You finished that?
Yes, sir. That was verse 1.
All right. Press play.
Damn.
I think you got to talk to Jay and Dame and Biggs, Tata,
But okay, you see how he's the devil? He said he didn't know Dame, but he just named all of Dame's associates.
Right.
He even named Tata, and Tata is a good friend of Jay.
Right.
Okay, childhood friend. He named everybody, but I thought you ain't no Dame.
Right.
Go ahead.
It's pictures of him and Dame
Him to game.
in a headlock, like,
he's,
chummy.
He's basically just throwing jabs at him.
Right, that's
like,
what he's
Negro,
doing.
you're nothing no more. That's what he's
Exactly.
saying. You're
He
nothing no more.
undermining him.
You're a peon to me. That's what he's saying. Come on.
This is crazy.
I don't know what to say to that. So I always have an expression. You say we're friends.
Mhm.
And I said, man, you gave a shitty interview. And you said, man, I thought we were friends. We're not friends any longer. You know what I say? We were never friends in the first place. If we can't survive that.
100%.
So if their partnership couldn't survive, then what's, how could, if it was me or anybody else?
No outside influence should be able to
Right.
break that up.
Oh, man. He
Now, where do you
said it.
Wow.
He said it.
That's that game, man. That's that game. That's that devil. That's that vulture.
Hey, find me that scripture in Sirach about a friend in adversity. Find me that about the friend in adversity. That's crazy because Jay and Dame, although two brothers coming from two different walks of life, as far as Jay raised in Brooklyn, Brooklyn is a different beast. Harlem is a different beast. That's like trying to mix oil and water, but they worked it out. They made a lot of money together. Rockefeller Records was very successful. So he is right. I agree with him. If you allow a Edomite Amalekite to infiltrate and whisper in your ear sweet nothings to break you up from that partnership that you had with your friend, and it wasn't a friendship to begin with. Okay? There was covetousness involved. That's why he was able to do what he did. Okay? You found it?
I got it right here.
You got it?
You got
Go ahead.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 6. I'm going to start at verse 8. Verse 8. Bring it out! For some man is a friend for his own occasion.
So the Bible says some men are friends for their own occasion, meaning benefits. They're only friends for benefits. Come on.
And would not abide in the day of thy trouble.
And will not abide in the day of thy trouble. Then when Dame Jas was catching all that heat, heat was coming down upon him. And then what happened? Rockefeller broke apart because he was able to go in, and the same thing he did with Public Enemies, he did to Rockefeller. And he's telling you, he's basically saying, hey, look,
Right.
if I was able to do that, then they weren't friends to begin with.
Right.
Sowing discord amongst brethren.
It's Cap. It's amazing because it shows that they know what button to push or what thing to do.
And they know who to go to. They always go to the weakest link.
Right.
Or they always go to the house Negro.
Yep.
They always go to the covetous people.
Wow.
They know exactly who to go to. Like with Public Enemies, he didn't go to Professor Griff. Professor Griff was he had some sort of self-identity. That's why he was reading all those books.
Right.
He knew who the devil was.
Yep.
That's why he didn't go to him. He said, nah, I'm going to go to Chuck D and I'm going to bring you to the Holocaust Museum.
Right.
Okay, and I'm going to plant that seed in your mind. You're going to go back like the puppet you are, and you're going to kick your own best friend out of your group. And that's what he did. And he did the same thing to Rockefeller.
Wow.
He did the same thing. Okay? Press play.
Future of music going.
Future
so many
music.
different
I was
things.
never a weather vane person.
But I mean, you were very early on as far as, like I
don't
said,
predict
accepting the streaming. And
Yeah.
what do you
I
see
don't
on the
predict.
horizon?
I don't predict.
Hey, press pause real quick. Read 12 and 8. Start at 12, verse 8.
Okay.
On down.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12. The book of Sirach, chapter 6. I'm going to start at verse 8.
Chapter 12, verse 8.
Chapter 12 and verse 8. Excuse me. Chapter
All right, this is
12.
going back into that friend stuff. Come on.
Said in verse 8.
Yeah.
A friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity.
Read verse 9.
In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved, but in his adversity, even a friend will depart.
You hear that? In adversity, even a friend will depart. So he's saying, guess what? He wasn't your friend to begin with. He departed.
Right.
All right, press play.
I look at wow, I could get out from underneath this expensive cost that are hurting everybody and making someone
All right, you can
because
close
the
it out.
wall.
You can close this out. Let's see what I want next. Let's see what I want next. Y'all brothers could chime in.
Yeah, it's crazy. Again, just to think that being a culture vulture, going with the definition that you gave earlier, is someone who comes in and takes over something, you know, that another group is doing. So he knows as a seasoned culture vulture how to go in.
He's a seasoned culture vulture.
Because I guarantee you he's teaching his son or anybody that's under him to play the same game.
Of course.
As a seasoned culture vulture, he goes in and he knows exactly who to pick. He knows which companies he wants to target. He already has a vision of what he can do with them once he breaks them down.
Damn.
To
Crazy.
turn more money into his pocket.
In that same interview, early in that interview, he had made a statement like when he be at the golf club, we be golfing with his buddies, they ask him, hey, how you make your money? How you get your riches? He bust out and said, off sucker MCs.
Wow.
So that,
Damn. And that was an actual record, right?
Yeah.
So,
right,
but it was
yeah.
twofold. It was
Exactly.
twofold. So he says sucker MCs because that was the actual name of the record, but at the same time, sucker MCs.
Right.
And that's exactly, and that trend continues until
Right.
this very day.
Well,
That's a damn shame.
it's funny that that's a punch because, you know, he started back when Run DMC started. He was part of that.
Yeah, he was the one with the passport and going on tours with them.
Right. So that's crazy
That's
that
that
he would
30
even use that.
That's that 37-year experience that he's talking about. The 37 years of raping and pillaging a culture. Okay? That's exactly what he's talking about. Get me the interview with Dame Dash. Now let's hear Dame Dash's rebuttal real quick. All right, brothers and sisters, I believe this is the interview where they had some foul language. All right, so if you have virgin ears or if you have kids next to you, please make them go to the other room. Okay? I'll try to skip over the parts where he was cursing a bit. Not Jay Prince, Dame Dash. Dame Dash. Up, right there. And brothers and sisters at home, if you have any experience with this, anybody in the music business who used to work for them and left or still currently work for them, please call in. Please call in. All right, give your opinion on this topic.
You're listening to In the Scripts Reloaded.
It's kind of hard for so-called.
My
Oh,
beef
here it is.
was with Lyor because I think he's a fake CEO and I think he's fronting on my culture, but he can't front on anybody else. And I'm calling him out publicly, and I want him to stop trying to rape my culture. Go make some money with some other people. Like, stop having your agenda be hip hop.
You know what's crazy?
Like when Joey
Press
was like,
pause real quick. How come us as black people cannot go into Amalek's music industry
That's
with
right.
your damn, I forgot the name of some of their artists.
Justin Timberlake.
Well, yeah, that's R&B / pop.
Right.
More pop.
You
talking about Amalek as
Amalek,
far as
some of the
Amalekite
Jewish-
music.
Right.
You had a dude from Brooklyn, forgot his name. He was a Hasidic Orthodox dude. He was making reggae music.
Oh,
Mattis Yahoo.
Oh,
Mattis Yahoo.
Yeah.
He was banking, making cake
Right.
off of reggae. Like he was Bob Marley. The regeneration of Bob Marley. This dude was making a killing. I'm like, what the hell is this? He had the locks and all of that.
Everything.
He had the shoestrings, the seats that they wear. I'm like, what the hell? Why can't we go into their genre of music and culture vulture them?
Right.
They do it to us.
They ain't got no salt.
Cause they ain't got no soul. Just nothing but bland music.
Right.
That's what I was going to say. It's kind of hard for a black man to go into country music and rape that genre and culture vulture that. You know, they wouldn't stand it.
Right.
They won't let us make it. They'll boycott it.
But even when black men enter into those other arenas, we're better than everybody. Like Genesis 25 says, we're better than everybody at everything. Because look at Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry was actually one of those who was an innovator of country and Western music. Lionel Richie right now is in the Country and Western Hall of Fame for music. He was seen as a country artist as well as an R&B, a soul artist. So we go in And we're so salty that they can use us and sprinkle us anywhere in their industry and make money and season and flavor the whole thing that they do. But we can never do it to them, like you said.
Unbelievable. All right, press play.
To open up Asylum was to go. It didn't say nothing about going to get no rock and roll. It was go to get people that they don't even care about and make money from them. Yeah, just get money in their culture. Let them do it. Let's let the violence stay there. Let's benefit from the violence and not bring in, you know what I mean? It was like they have people that their job is to create beef so that they can monetize it. Pause.
Monetize.
But they don't let
That's where you get YouTube, and we're gonna go into YouTube a little later on.
Right.
That's where you get YouTube. Monetize the violence. Monetize the hypocrisy and the bad images that they put out. Make money off of it.
Off our
Profit.
struggle.
Off of our struggle.
Right.
Come on.
feel it. But they make money from it, and they can't make any money or get any respect in their culture. That's why they're in our culture. Because the minute that they were allowed to be there, they would go. But they just can't. You know, the question should be, why don't you do something besides rap? And if you are all into rap, what have you done to give back to the community? I didn't know why that wasn't asked. Those were the questions that I was like, damn, if you're going to cross me, Combat Jack, Reggie Osei, ask some good questions. It almost looked like it was scripted. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a perfect example of what they always do to us. They always try to, you know, offer some paper bag of money or whatever it is, whatever selfish agenda, which is the test, and then have us divide so they can benefit and take the fight off of them and put the focus on them. Never had a beef with Jay. Always with Lyor and his whole crew. He's the one that ruined Rockefeller, Lyor Cohen.
Damn.
There was, when you talk about that situation, they gave Jay Rockefeller back after you guys sold it, right?
I don't know, man. I don't want to go back to that. I'm just talking about
another
me having
thing.
to beef with
Another culture vulture is this guy doing the interview, Vlad TV. To me, I think he's a culture vulture. When you get somebody with some common sense or some self-awareness, consciousness, he tries to like belittle you or stay away from certain questions. Like when he had Umar Johnson on there.
Right.
All right. He need to get the Israelites in there, so
you
he
know
can get
what's
his, get himself handed.
You know what's funny though? His partner, Lord Jamal, called him out in an interview and called him a culture vulture. And he did an interview with Lord Jamal, like, hey, I'm your buddy, we family. I done been to your house and you called me a culture vulture. I'm kind of, you know, he's in his feelings. Lord Jamal, you know, he's conscious, brother, with polite and all like that. But he was like, hey, bro, I have to call it what it is. You know what I mean? You're a culture vulture, but you're a nice one. You know what I mean? I don't know.
A nice culture vulture. Damn. Come on.
Lyor Cohen. See? You see how it always transitions back to Jay? Lyor Cohen. That's my beef. Pause. Not Jay.
What do you think about the new label? Was it 300?
I don't know nothing about his whatever they doing. Whatever he's doing is robbing whoever he in business with. So whoever's in business with them, I suggest they check their paperwork. I bet you've given a lot of your ass is gone, about 360 of it. Maybe about 400 now. If he say 300, then he mean he taking 4.
I can tell you that Young Thug, I heard, was signed to 300.
So you should ask him about his contract.
He's managed by Birdman.
Okay, so I'm sure they didn't then. I'm sure they know who to rob and who not to. You know, like I said, I can't speak on anybody's business, but if there's any advice I could give, I will. But I just wouldn't advise working with him just based on my history. That's all. I know what he did with me. I know how he played, and I know that he doesn't care about the culture, and I know that he doesn't even feel that he has to even say anything. He's still walking around like I'm not questioning it, like he doesn't have to acknowledge it. I'm a relevant person from this culture, and I'm asking you a question publicly. What have you done for our culture? You cheated. And I'm calling him out publicly. I had things to do. I didn't have the time to do it before, and he was using Warner's money, and he was using Universal's money for his own agenda. And I'm not counting that man money. I'm just saying that's the way he rapes our culture. He says, he collects money from a bigger company and says, I'm going to go get all this urban stuff, and then spends it on his kids and himself. But that's what I saw.
Anytime I hear the word urban, I always question it. Just like in on the Bible side, you have these pseudo-urban apologists or apologetics, pathetics we call them. You know, they're always saying, "Oh, we're all in one Jesus, one Christ. We're all one in Jesus." Right. But why do you have urban apologists then?
Right.
Why do you have that? You have the regular apologists. Now you have the urban apologists. Right. I'm telling you, man, that's that old divide and conquer. Come on.
In front of me. What you think about Lyor?
I don't know Lyor, I'll be honest.
Do you know anything that he's done in hip hop? Like all these questions, that was the person that was behind a lot of the stuff that was going on. Like that's what I mean. Why do y'all want to know about the rappers Like, aren't y'all curious? Like, y'all been talking about the same thing for 5 years. Don't y'all want to know about the other side of the story? Ask about Lyor, Todd Moskowitz, and all those players.
Todd Moskowitz is another Jewish exec. Press play.
You know, Julie Greenwald. Ask them about their perspective on what happened. Why don't they get questioned? They make money off us every day. Let's make some money off them. Period. Like, let them see how it feels. Just reverse it. It's about perspective. Like, go interview Lyor and ask him those questions. Vlad, call that man. Call Kevin Lowndes.
I don't think I've ever seen a Lyor Cohen interview.
Exactly. Of course you don't see. Of course you don't see the puppet master. So it's time to see him. Bring him out. Call out Todd Moskowitz. He wearing a scarf. He running around acting like he doing something he not. He got a job because of nepotism. Ask them why they got their job.
Wow. That's nepotism. Get me Zephaniah 2 verse 1 again.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Read out. Gather yourself together. Yea, gather together, O nations not desired.
You hear that? God is telling us to gather together. The reason I brought that out again was because Dame Dash should say the word nepotism. Nepotism is when you hire your kinsfolk or people of your own kind.
That's right.
All right, you prefer them. Get me that? Preferring one another. You prefer them over any other nationality. So that's why a majority of these execs are Amalek, so-called Jewish people. All right, Todd Moskowitz, Lyor Cohen, and all the others.
Yeah, I noticed all the names he called were Amalek.
Yes, they're all Amalek. That's why he said nepotism. Why can't we do that?
Right.
Why can't? Because so-called black people, we are crabs in a barrel. Right. We are crabs in a barrel. 1 Timothy 5:21. We are crabs in a barrel.
Right.
Crabs in a barrel.
Wow.
Okay, instead of helping, instead of working together. That's how his whole thing fell apart. They wasn't supposed to be able to do that to Rockefeller Records as long as those brothers been together. But later on in the show, I'm going to show you why they did that. Why did they do that? Because it was a bigger plan. Because what happened is Dame Dash, Jay Prince, Suge Knight, and Irv Gotti were planning to do something extremely huge. They wanted to practice nepotism within themselves, but got shut down, of course. All right, we're going to go into that a little later. If anybody has any questions, call in. Feel free to call in. Call in. All right, call the show. The phone number, 214-272-0400. That's 214-272-0400. Let's read that.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 5 and verse 21. Read out. I charge thee before God and the Lord Jesus Christ and the elect angels that thou observe these things without preferring one before another.
No, that's not the one that I want. That's not it. Romans 12 and 10. Romans 12 and 10. I'm sorry. Romans 12 and 10.
Romans 12 and 10?
Yeah, because this is what God commands us to do. Because I brought out the issue of nepotism. All right, and there's nothing wrong with nepotism. There ain't nothing wrong with nepotism. Right. It's so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. We need to practice that thing more often. Come on.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 10. Be kindly and affectionate one to another with brotherly love. And honor.
In honor.
Preferring one another.
There is nothing wrong with nepotism. If it's good for the Jewish man, it's good enough for the Israelite man.
That's right.
If it's good enough for the Arab man, it's good enough for the Israelite man.
That's right.
Okay? We need to practice that thing. Hey, look at Asians. They practice it.
Right.
They dominate the hair industry.
Right.
They telling their cousins about it. They telling their nephews about it. They getting in on it. They stopping you Negroes from establishing your own stuff.
Right.
They're practicing nepotism.
Yeah.
But when one Negro will make it, he wants to keep it all to himself. Oh, I found out I could make 10 mil. Let me get the 10 mil by myself and not put my brother on.
Right.
That's why they look at us as niggas and spicks, and that's why they able to pull off this culture vulture thing. All right? Call in 214-272-0400. 214-272-0400. All right, let's get that. Answer that. Hey, shalom, Most High in Christ bless. Thank you for calling in the scripts. Who's speaking?
Hey, this is Herbert. out of Little Rock, Arkansas.
Hey, Herbert, how you doing, brother?
Shalom, shalom.
Hey, I'm doing all right, man. How you doing, Shalom?
I'm doing fine, brother. Any questions or comments?
Well, I just wanted to make a comment, man. Y'all was talking about Professor Griff, and he been going hard on him for a while. I think he wrote a book or something called Psychological War Against Blacks in Hip Hop, or something to that nature. That's not the exact title, but it is something to that nature.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, y'all bringing it out tonight, though, bro. Like,
Hey,
I've
brother,
been
all
watching
praises
this
to
stuff.
the
It's
Most
just-
High. The Most High is bringing it out. We're
That's
just his servants and vessels that he's using.
That's right.
But what you said about Professor Griff is absolutely 100% correct, bro. That's why when Lyor Cohen stepped to Chuck D, he didn't step to Professor Griff because he's always been in those books. He couldn't run that game with him.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I watched that interview with Charlamagne the God, and Charlamagne just went full-fledged coon, man.
Yeah, man. But you know, that's how a lot of our people they gotta repent. We had a lot of coons that repented, you know. But it's hard for a coon to repent because why they enjoying the benefits of white supremacy. You know, they love that.
That's it. Yeah.
They love that.
Yeah, and that's it, man. And you know what, bro? It's so hard because I work in the media field per se. You know what I'm saying? I work at a local news station, and you watch these stories and things of that nature, and the wording and just the craftiness, and it gets so upsetting sometimes, man.
Yeah.
It's just like, dang.
But we're gonna be all right.
It's
You know,
true.
we're building up righteous music. Lord willing, hey, you never know. The Most High might put it in our spirit to start our own distribution company.
That's
and
right.
this one will not be defeated by white supremacy.
That's
All
right.
right? Because we got the angel of God on our side as long as we keep these commandments.
That's right.
All right, brother?
All right, brother.
All right,
Yes,
brother.
sir. Shalom.
I appreciate you calling in. Thank you, brother.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right, shalom. All right, let's get back to Mr. Dame Dash again.
That's what I want to see. How did Joey get the job president of Urban, and what does that mean? I need to see credentials. And culturally, anyone that's taking orders from that man should be asking, why should I be taking orders from you? Period.
Yeah, exactly. How is Amalekite going to be named the president of Urban whatever?
Right.
Urban what?
Right.
You ain't grow up in the hood. You don't know so-called black culture. You don't know black music. You don't know black food. Just because you sit behind a desk, you do some accounting, you give orders, please stop. The nepotism amongst Israel has to start, and it has to belong. It has to start with us.
It's starting
Okay?
with us. It's starting with us.
Okay, and we're gonna start that thing, and will not be infiltrated. And if guess what? Let's say we do get infiltrated by agents or whatever. Guess what? They're gonna repent. They ain't gonna find no evil amongst us. They're gonna just have to repent. They're gonna go back to wherever they came from, whether it be the FBI, CIA, or whatever. Like, damn, I don't know what do you want me to do? How do I what shall I do? I can't find any guile amongst
They ain't gonna
them.
have nothing on us.
They ain't gonna have nothing on us.
If you answer that question honestly, then maybe you'll feel better about it.
Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. Thank you for calling in the scripts reloaded. Who's speaking? They hung up? All right. All right, let's get back to this. Let's get back to Dame Dash real quick.
But they're not even, yo, dog, he got on the radio and said, I don't even care what y'all. You know, my questions was the same questions that everybody's asking. He don't care? I don't care. He said it. Joey said it. I don't care. How you feel about the culture? I don't care. How do you feel that someone relevant from the culture thinks you're robbing it? I don't care.
Wow.
And nobody's gonna question that?
That's crazy. And black people just sit there. You could X that out. It's crazy, man, how they just say what they say when they want to say it, all for the love of money. Before you show this, get me the J Prince video. I'm trying to make sure I don't skip anything. Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. Thank you for calling in the scripts reloaded. Speaker?
Yes, hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who's speaking?
Yes, it's Dan from Canada, Montreal. Basically, I've been watching you guys for a while right now.
How you doing,
And
Dan?
I really find the debate that's really interesting because it's funny because I was watching Five Heartbeats with my wife, and there was a part in the scene where he was actually saying that when they were on the point to coming up, where he was actually saying that, you know, when white people sing their songs, they get more applause and they make, you know, success off of, you know, Israelites back. And you could see it with the Post Malones and so forth and so on. And it's just like crazy to me because right now, as you could see, hip hop, how it's transcending, it's like going more of a rockish type of vibe with the XXXTentacion and so forth and so on. And it looks like, you know, hip hop is really diluting and going more towards a sinister route where now so-called Caucasian rappers are taking the styles and making it to themselves and capitalizing off of that. So it was really interesting that you brought that up.
Absolutely, man, and I'm glad that you're very observant and well aware of it, man. But that's how we have to make our own music and righteousness, you know, and so forth. All right, but we're gonna be all right as long as we keep these commandments. There's gonna be trials, tribulations, and afflictions. It's not gonna be easy. The Most High is teaching us how to war, and I love war. You know, and I'm pretty sure the brothers up here sitting right next to me love war. I love war.
That's
So
right.
They could bring the pain. They could bring the pain, but we gonna overcome because it's written.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
But thank you for calling
All
in,
right.
brother. Thank you for calling in.
All
Shalom, shalom.
All right, thank you. Shalom.
All right, let's get the one with what Jay Prince said. So I said that these brothers were trying to practice nepotism. For all of you who don't know, Jay Prince was the owner and CEO of Rap-A-Lot Records. This brother has a lot of ventures. He actually came out with an autobiography, which was great. I think it's called Respect and Power or something like that. I might be mistaken on the name. You also have Suge Knight, okay, former CEO of Death Row Records, okay. Well, these brothers got together and they were trying to do something big, something incredibly big, okay. And then, unfortunately, it all came to shambles because of white supremacy. All right, culture vultures. All right, press play.
So why do you think that he's the mastermind in the evil that is hip hop? Is he a great businessman, or are we looking at the devil dead in his eye? In your opinion?
I heard Dame Dash.
So they're going over it right now.
And that's fun.
Dame Dash. Come on, press
First of all,
play.
it was a few years back. Professor Griff put out a video saying that they was trying to start a black distribution. Irv Gotti, Jay Prince. Anyway, either way,
they was trying to start a black distribution company. Do you know how big that is?
Real big.
You know how big that is, bro?
It's big.
To start your own distribution company? That's something Esau's like, hell no. Absolutely not. That ain't gonna happen. Not under our watch. That's what the white man was saying. All right? Give me Deuteronomy 28.
Which one you want? 43?
No. 48. 28, 48. I think it is. Let me see. Take a look at it.
For one all things?
Yeah. Let's read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 48.
Read it out.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
In the want of all things, we would have to go to our enemies. Even for this. Even on the music side, brothers want to start their own distribution. The white man came and he said, well, yeah, really? You have the audacity to think that?
Right.
That I'm going to sit back and let that happen so you can take money out of my pocket? And this is what happened. Come on.
Obviously. Right.
Yeah, my
So
bad.
we for missing, we apologize. But he said there was a rumor that they were going to start a black distribution company and make, get our own distribution. And that Jay-Z, this is what he said. I got the audio too. I actually saved it in my computer. Jay-Z, went to the higher ups and told them about it. And everybody that he said, Dame Dash, I got him recorded. He was on Sway talking about how the feds came in on him. You got Jay Prince talking about how the feds tried to kill him. And you got
I'm not particularly cool with some of these brothers' lifestyle, but nonetheless, they my brothers. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We have to look at Damon Dash. We have to look at Suge Knight. We have to look at Irv Gotti. And we have to look at Jay Prince. These four gentlemen that got together and was going to put up $30 million a piece to get and create their
$30
own
million
distribution
a piece, bro. They had money. They were gonna do it. But they were trying to keep it on the low. But somebody went back and told. They're saying that it's Jay. I don't know. But there's always a house nigga in the midst. Right. You know, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was him. But go ahead.
To distribute black music. These people got together and said, we'll never let it happen. It'll happen over our dead bodies. All in 1 week, I'm telling you the short version of the story. All in 1 week, they raided the offices of these four brothers. I'm going to say them again. Damon Dash, Suge Knight, Irv Gotti, and Jay Prince out of Texas.
Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. Thank you for calling In the Scripts. Who's speaking?
What's up? It's Jay Flex. What's cracking?
Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing? This is a special guest.
All right.
I'm glad you called, brother. This is a special guest, our brother Jay Flex out of the West Coast, if I'm correct.
What's happening? My man Dallas Long, we go way back.
What's
like
up, Jay?
cereal and milk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what's up, Jay?
All praises. I'm glad he was able to reach out to you and get you to call. For those who don't know, our brother Jay Flex was a ghostwriter and for Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, famous songs like California Love, Keep Their Heads Ringing, which was actually one of my songs. I used to love that song when I used to go to boxing practice, and that was on my playlist. But this brother was an artist on Death Row Records. Okay, so you're basically qualified to speak on some of the questions that we have for you.
Absolutely.
All right. So let me ask you a few things.
Shout out to everybody down there in the Texas area. They always show me love when we came through there. You know what I'm saying? You know, me and Dallas, we go back to the 90s, man. So
way back.
All praises, man. That's good to hear, brother. First question for you, my brother. Are minority label execs, because we were talking about Kevin Lyles earlier and Russell Simmons, are minority label execs the modern day taskmasters over artists?
Kind of like overseers, you mean?
Yeah.
You know what I would liken them to more so, like a Russell Simmons or a Suge or somebody like that. I would liken them to more of like a sharecropper. You know what I'm saying?
Sharecroppers.
Like where the big landowner then said, you know what? We're going to give you this little piece of land right here. You kick us ours upstairs, and then whatever you got left, you can eat off of. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
and so,
you know what?
Yeah, I would put it more like that, like they sharecroppers. Like they give them a little piece.
A little something, a little food to eat.
Yeah, but in comparison to what they was getting, you know.
Yeah.
You know, Suge or Dre would never be on Jimmy Iovine's level. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy Iovine, he was pulling in a lot of bread. For those who are listening who don't know, that was one of the main execs. All right? A so-called white man. He was getting a lot of paper, and the other brothers was just getting the crumbs. Although they're rich, like Dr. Dre has a lot of money, but not compared to a lot of these other execs. You know, because it's crazy what you said, because you said you would put Suge in that category. And not too long ago, I seen an interview with Snoop. And Snoop was saying that a lot of the things that he owned was not owned, but that he had was in the name of Suge. The house, the cars. And he's like, what's going on here? Why all of my cars are in Suge's name?
Yeah.
So that just rings.
Well, what they would do was they'd ask you. So you figure you a guy coming from the street, man. You ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? So you come and I'll tell you, the first thing Suge ever said to me when I met him, he had a 62 lowrider. He was hitting the switches on it when I met him. And I said, man, that's a nice ride, bro. And he was like, nigga, you want it? You know what I'm saying? So he ready to give you what you want. You know what I'm saying? So you can have the appearance
Yeah.
of having things. But the thing is, they giving you lease cars. They leasing the house. So if things go south, they can pull it right back.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a way of controlling people. But the thing about it is, and I could have went that route. He asked me, did I want? He said, man, I got a new Cadillac Alante sitting up here. If you want to roll that, I said, no, I'm cool, bro. I got 2 cars already. You feel me?
Right.
Just cut my check.
Yeah, and a lot of
So
times, my brother, when artists take those things from these execs, it's like a contract. It's like almost like you're signing a contract. I mean, a lot of times you'd have to. It would be a handwritten contract, but I know with Suge from stories that I heard, he give you a piece of jewelry or car. Guess what? You like basically signing your life away to that dude, and he's gonna remember that.
Well, the thing about it is, he would give you, if you knew better, he'd let you do better. You see what I'm saying? I really wasn't in debt to him because I didn't take nothing from him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when he offered the place to stay, and I already got a place, bro. I already got cars. You know what I'm saying? Then he just cut me my check, and we cool. You know what I'm saying? So it's just about being knowledgeable and having your ducks in a row when you go in them places.
Yeah.
Because if they recognize that you already know what's up, they not gonna come at you with the flim-flam. You know what I'm saying? See, when I met Dre, I was green. You know what I'm saying? So I thought I was getting over on Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying? If he giving me, you know, $5,000-$10,000, you know, for something that took me 10 minutes to write, I'm looking at it like, okay, that's $1,000 a minute. I'm getting over it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
that
then
same,
he take what you wrote and take that
and make
give you
millions
10,
off of it.
15 grand, and he make $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Then who's really the dummy?
Exactly. Yeah, he's the winner at the end of the day because California Love was a big hit in the world, like back back in the days. I think even now some people might bump that thing still. That was a huge hit.
I still hear it on the radio every day as I'm going to my regular job. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, you
And
know,
nobody
if I would've
knows that
been-
is you. Nobody knows that you're the one who wrote it.
Right.
Wow, that's
You know, so it's kind of like if you know what's up going in, and you set your foundation up correctly, man, then you could be set for life. Even me catching it late, you know, because I was a couple songs in before I recognized what was really going on, and then was able to get my stuff right. So even for me catching it late in the game and being able to line some of my stuff up, I still get checks 20 years later. You know, because I was able, the last few songs that I wrote for him, I was able to get the proper credit and everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. I got another question for you, brother. Because with this
Yes,
whole,
sir.
I'm pretty sure you heard the whole thing with Lyor Cohen establishing the 360 deal. What is a slave contract? What does that really entail? What is the slave contract?
Well, like you say, 360 deal. That means, because what happened was, the internet really saved it for the little guy. You know what I'm saying? Because the little internet came in and said, you know what, the majors are no longer going to control all this. We're going to break loose. So it's like they let the dogs out of the pen. So the only way the major labels was able to continue and make money was, okay, whatever artists we do get, we getting everything. So it used to be they got their percentage off the record sales, and then the artists, they got their money by merchandise, by going on tour and stuff like that. That's how the artists make their money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But the 360 deal, they getting money off your tours, they get money off your merchandise. If a nigga sell a J-Flex t-shirt, they want a piece of that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? The poster on your little sister's wall, they want a piece of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like a 360 deal. Is kind of like when you say slave contract. I mean, you know, we getting a piece of everything you do.
Hey Jay,
You know what I'm saying?
in that 360 though, where's we used to be able to sell T-shirts, right? But when they do the 360 now, there's basically a no compete clause in there, so you can't go and produce your own T-shirt still because now the contract says that they have control over that, right?
Yeah, they control everything with J Flex on it.
Wow.
If you say, okay, Dallas Long, we sign you to a 360 deal. I mean, if Dallas Long do a show in Dallas, you know, at the Executive Club or something, and you give $5,000, guess what? They need $2,500 of that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Wow, that's
You
a
know.
slave contract for real. That's a
Yeah,
slave
you know.
contract for real, and that's what he established.
Yeah.
Although he left 300, the record label, and now he's on YouTube. The president of YouTube Music, but that thing is still there, and there's a lot of artists who are signed to that 360 deal that this culture vulture started. That's crazy, man. I got another question for you, brother. Another question. Do our communities benefit from the monies generated in the music industry?
Do our communities benefit? That's a good question, man. I'm gonna have to say, and generally, no. I would say that they benefit as far as individuals. You know what I'm saying? Making it out and doing their thing like that, and then it's on the individual to come back and show love to that hood. I mean, and we getting to the point now, like for instance, like your Slim Thugs and the guys like that are actually going back, buying up houses in the hood, you know what I'm saying, fixing them up and actually care about their hood. So it's really about if the individual that makes it out got love for their hood or got enough love where they're going to go back and try to help the community.
Yeah.
But as far as, okay, brothers getting rich and then spending their money in the hood, absolutely not. Because, you know, the fools is getting rich, they spending their money at Barney's and moving to Beverly Hills, moving to the hills, and ain't nobody spending their money back in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. You're
Otherwise, you'll be seeing all kind of stores popping up. You'll be seeing car washes and beeper shops. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere. You know, but you know, it's really about the individual. But it is. I mean, as we move along, you know, more and more artists are taking interest in their neighborhoods and actually trying to give back. You know, you are seeing a little bit of that lately. But,
and we could only depend on our artists, our black artists, because they have they have some interest in our communities. But these record execs, like the how do you call them? You have Tommy Mottola, the Jimmy Iovine.
Oh no! As
all
far
these
as the majors, as far as the majors go, they ain't never gave back. You know what I'm saying? I mean. Now, you take, for instance, and a lot of people don't talk about this. Everybody want to talk about all the bad stuff that Suge did, man. But I remember at least 5 or 6 times where I was at toy giveaways where he would get 3 or 4 Ryder trucks full of toys, man, and go down there to the Compton swap meet and give them out for free. Have concerts, you know what I'm saying? While he giving the food out, while he giving the toys out. You know, I remember 3 or 4 Christmases in a row he did that. I remember he had the turkey giveaways, same thing. He'd get 2 or 3 Ryder trucks full of turkeys, man, and give them out. You know, I remember him giving out back to school supplies. I remember him giving out for Mother's Day. He had the big Mother Day brunch. He gave all the mothers like necklaces and you know what I'm saying, and did homeless stuff for the homeless, bro. So he did a lot of good that people don't talk about. He hired all his homies. You know what I'm saying? It actually got him. It actually is what kind of brought him down because he tried to keep it too real, man. He hired all his homies. You know what I'm saying? And that's what kept that gang mentality around him. Yeah. You know, but he just trying to, you know, lift people up.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
heard about that.
And it wound up taking him down. But
All
you
right.
know, so some people do give back, man. You know, but it's usually like you say the black side of the label. Like Death Row gonna have a turkey giveaway, but Interscope ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like Def Jam might have a toy giveaway, but Sony ain't having one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like that.
I got another question for you, brother.
Yeah.
With Black and Hispanics coming together to
Mhm.
form independent labels, would that be the 90s? Would that be a solution, or even what Jay Prince, Suge Knight, and Dame Dash and Irv Gotti tried to get their own distribution label until that got like sabotaged, and we know who was responsible for that. But what do you think about that? Do you think that can be some sort of a solution to as far as this culture vulture thing and the music industry?
Well, I think as far as if Black and Brown get together on anything, it's gonna be dangerous for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I think if Black and Brown get their heads together, man, it's gonna be something else. Cause we the only ones holding each other down. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that couldn't be nothing but positive, man, if that was to happen. That's a lot of if. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
where the power is in unity, man, and I got faith that it's gonna happen. We just gotta unify as a people. We've been so destroyed here and separated.
But I think the recent events have worked in an opposite manner to galvanize people instead of pushing us apart. You know what I'm saying? I think the oppressed people are starting to galvanize and and starting to unify. Like just I stay out here in LA. I can just tell you about LA, how it used to be on between the brothers and the essays, and I haven't seen a lot of that in the past 3 to 4 years, man. I got more Mexican friends than I ever had. You know what I'm saying? So
hey, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
And when I moved out here in the '90s, it was on. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to watch everybody. To the point where Crips and Bloods wasn't even fighting no more because they was watching the essays. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. So, in the past few years, with all the changes in government and all that, I mean, people ain't really got time to fight amongst each other as far as minorities go, anyway.
Yeah. All praises, man.
But,
I appreciate you calling in, brother, for real, for your input. You had a lot of knowledge in this field. We have a congregation, just in case you're interested. We have a congregation in California. Is located in L.A. You can go on our website, IsraelUnite.org, so you can get the address. Anytime you have the chance, you should go check it out, man. IsraelUnite.org. All right, brother?
Will do, bro. And hey, Dallas, thanks for thinking of me, brother. And always a pleasure, man. That's my dude from way back.
Yes, sir.
And Dallas, get into some of the things we used to do in the '90s, bro. I mean, this dude is super talented. I know he don't talk about himself, man, but y'all definitely got a positive brother there with y'all, man.
All right, thank you, brother. I appreciate you calling in, brother.
Peace, shalom.
Okay.
All right, Jay.
Talk to you soon, brother. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Hey, brother Jay made a good point. He made a great point about as far as what's happening now. The unity, what you're seeing now is blacks and Hispanics coming together because of oppression. And that's scriptural. Let's get that in Job. Job 35, verse 9. That is scriptural. All right? The Most High knows us. The only time we're going to come together is when our back being whipped, our back against the wall, these culture vultures clawing at us and taking everything we got for themselves. All right, the Most High understands that thing. Job 36, verse 15.
You said 36 and 15.
The book of Job, chapter 36 and verse 15. Bring it out. He delivereth the poor in his affliction.
So the Most High delivers the poor in affliction. Come on.
And openeth their ears in oppression.
And he opens their ears in oppression, meaning opens the Bible, these words. We're able to look at real life events and couple it with the Bible and show you that the problems that we're going through are in the Bible. And not only that, but the solutions are in the Bible as well. Okay, let's get back to this video.
The FBI raided their offices and confiscated their records and started piecing together cases against these brothers.
And at this very moment, just based on what I read in the paper, that this is the one time that the paper did scare me. And I was like, it has to be some truth to it, is when I read about his affiliation with, informant, that he's in business with certain people. And it's tricky for me to say, but just based on where I'm from, I can't have nothing to do with that. and then just based on.
Do you believe that though?
I don't know. It's paperwork.
Yeah.
So it's not to believe. You know what I'm saying? There's paperwork. So that part of it scares me because I know Biggs is in jail. I know Irv Gotti's been harassed for years over shit he didn't do. I know
And
they've
this
been fucking with me
happened
for years.
when they found out that they were trying to start the distribution company. That's when the FBI raided Murder Inc. and put the pressure on, I believe it was Def Jam, okay? And they threatened Def Jam like, hey, we could check your paperwork too, you know? And that's when Murder Inc. caught all manners of hell, and everybody turned their backs on them. Okay, go ahead.
So it just means I need to stay over here. You know what I'm saying? So I love Jay, but let's say I find out that any of that shit, I can't fuck with him at all because that's how I was raised. It ain't no disrespect. I don't know how anyone else was raised. That's it. It ain't nothing to talk about. And it's real serious for me because, you know, your friend, my man's in jail for 3 years over weed. You know, the feds is really on me. It's not like they not. And where I'm from, that shit is not tolerated at all. So because of that, I can't even really, until that gets, that's the only conversation I can have with him until we can move forward. But that ain't for me to be airing out here. It's a question you asked. But just because of what I read in the media, I can't really be over there with him. I have no more opinions about it until I have a one-on-one with him. Because of what I know.
Reference to Jay Prince. Okay, come on.
That's it. But I'm like, yo, that doesn't, you know, that's it. So that's meaning when people ask me about him right now, that's politically, there I am being politically correct because I'm scared.
Okay.
You understand? That's fear. I'm on record saying, like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. All I know is my man's in jail. All I know is my other man that was with me got fucking a money laundering charge, some old stupid shit. Everybody know Irv's not a criminal.
Skip.
This shit is.
Skip forward a bit. He curses a lot. Yeah. Skip. Wait. Back up a little bit more. All right there. Go to Jay Prince part.
Total lie.
And that's interesting because around this time was also when
Turn
we
it
were
up a
trying to
bit.
do a distribution label with Suge Knight and Irv Gotti.
Yeah. Myself, Suge, and Irv, them, we were contemplating doing the first black-owned distribution company. And coincidentally, one may think, you know, all of us was being hit up around the same time. So we understood.
So they got hit up by the feds all around the same time. What a coincidence. Or is it? Come on.
Irv, them, and Suge, and I'm the last man standing.
Speaking of that a little bit, Special Agent Jack Schumacher, he was leading an investigation against you, and he killed 6 people in the line of duty, all of which he was investigating. Did you think they put him on your case to take you out?
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And I think the number is 8 instead of 6.
It was 8? Oh, damn.
Yeah. So, you know, this was a hitman. I don't know no better way to characterize this guy other than a hitman, but they chose him and the agent Chad Scott, who is presently, I think he's been indicted on 13 cases. They put both of these guys on me to wipe me out. You know what I mean? To destroy me, to destroy a rap a lot.
Wow.
And I definitely
You
felt
could end it on that. You could end it on that. Yeah. So basically, they had 2 crooked Edomite cops to take this brother out. And now they finally, I think 10 years after, they finally indicted them on charges. So yeah, yep, to take them out. And it all happened systematically when they wanted to get the distribution company. Stuff starting happening to Suge, to Murder Inc. with Irv Gotti and Prince and Dame Dash, all 4 of them. Because you know the call went out. The call went out from the top, like, hell no, we can't allow them to do that. They're going to become too powerful. We can't give the blacks that much power.
Right.
All right, and let's go to this one, this final interview with, this is Chris Gotti, the brother of Irv Gotti from Murder Inc.
And just not stay neutral because
we
Ja
have
was one more record away from
no,
still
Ev,
be
you're
like
missing the biggest thing.
Okay, what am I missing?
You're missing the government is on our back.
Oh yeah.
So
okay.
now
This
hold
would have
on.
been a great interview if they were able to silence that woman. Oh my goodness. Okay, go ahead. That's another story.
Vivendi had just bought Universal.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that French company.
Yep. Mhm.
Guess who they flew out there to go talk to them? Because they wanted to know what the hell is going on with Murder Inc.
Okay.
in the government.
Okay.
So this was deep
So
shit.
this was cautious. They just was
this
cautious
is over the
and
head.
wary.
Let me explain. This is over the head. This is why me and Irv, we never came out and talked about, because really it's over the head of a fan.
Okay, yeah.
They can't understand all this
Yeah.
shit. And it makes no sense. Then they're thinking you're just making something up.
Yeah.
No, Vivendi was like, what's going on with Murder Inc.?
Okay.
Yeah, why is the government
Why
That's
is
the
because
feds.
in our books?
It could
That's the feds when the feds came in to investigate their books after they found out about the distribution deal that they wanted to make, that they wanted to start. Remember, each record label, each man would have to put up 30 mil a piece, which would give you 120 mil. So you have 4 black men come in with 120 mil. They'd be like, damn, well, y'all got all this money. Although they were making that kind of money. Come on.
Yeah,
So
so
it
the
became a
government,
liability.
the government made Universal, cooperate against Murder Inc.
Wow.
Okay? So now, how did they do that? They said, if you keep giving these guys checks,
Wow, it went that
You're gonna
far.
have an issue.
we're coming after you.
Wow.
And we know you don't want us in your books.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to be in
They
these label
sold us
books.
out, and then they have a new artist. Are you kidding me? It's a
making
no-brainer.
Okay, now see that right there
It's a
makes sense
no-brainer.
to me.
Can I
Before
tell you?
before you said that,
this
I
shit
wasn't
was
getting it,
deep
but
because
that,
at the time Doug Morris was the chief.
Okay,
he was the boss of Universal.
Mm-hmm.
The boss of bosses, Doug Morris. He's flying Irv and myself out every other week to L.A. talking about we're gonna take over Universal. Once that shit happened, he has no other choice
with the government.
Like I understand his move.
Yeah.
He has no other choice but to exile us.
Because there's a lot of
Not
dirty
just
money up in
fall
them
back,
labels.
exile.
Yeah.
So,
Like we had no resources. They stopped supporting our push. So when
So
Job,
that's
even
what
if
the
we
culture vultures wanted. They wanted them to stop supporting them, and that's what happened. You know, because if they can't get you with a Coon, they can't get you with a Hip, they can't get you with Becky. They always come after the money, finances.
Send the feds to raid your studios.
Send the feds to raid the studio. They always do that. Okay? That's why we can't have covetous people amongst us, and we have to be perfect with the books. Okay? Come on. In all things, not only in Israel, but even at your job. You know, you have to be on point. Keep records of everything. Come on.
and we had the music, we wasn't getting
good.
supported.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all in the same system.
Yep.
Yeah.
I could even go as far as saying Lyor didn't treat us the right way.
Oh, that's
You
the
know,
devil.
and that-
Come on.
Our guy. So they had Jimmy. We had Lyor.
Yeah.
Nah, Lyor had a big poster with 50 Cent in his office.
Wow.
That was the day. Listen to me.
Wait.
This is something no one
So,
understands.
all right,
Wait.
bring you up to speed. Everybody knew about the beef with 50 Cent and Ja Rule, blah, 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 blah. So that's Irv Gotti. Then you have Chris Gotti. So Irv Gotti and Chris Gotti were very close with Lyor Cohen. Very close. So they go to his office to have a meeting. Come on.
You're getting stuff that we never spoke about.
We're getting facts right here.
Me and
people.
Irv walk in his office. We have a meeting. He has a huge
What
poster.
building? On 50th?
Man, 50th. Not 50th, the other one. The other one. What
The
street
new
is
one,
it? The new one.
Broadway.
Broadway. So on his wall, it's got to be bigger than this. He has a picture of him and 50. He's hugging 50, and he's giving the finger.
Wow.
And he tells us to turn around to look.
Oh, no, he didn't point the picture out. Like you couldn't already see it.
He said, "Did you see that?" He said, "Did you see my picture?"
And that's
Lyor-
that
and
Lyor
me and
person
Lyor
is so
knew what was
hilarious.
going on.
Listen to me.
But he didn't know the depth of what was going on.
I disagree. I don't give him the ignorant
Right.
card.
Lyor
This
ain't never
man is
been
too
dumb.
smart.
Right.
He's calculated.
Right.
He knew his whole move. And hold on, I'll go even deeper. Look at every picture my brother did at that time. He's throwing the finger.
Oh.
Lyor's hugging him and giving you the. That's what Irv
old
did in
man
all his
shade.
pictures.
That's like the
He's letting you know. I know.
Move it up a little bit. Move it up. Oh, that's too far. It's still on that picture? All right, take it off. Or somebody's going to get offended. Oh, you got the
This is some
middle finger.
gangster stuff, man.
Yeah, bro. So this is what happened, just to bring y'all up to speed. So after they stormed out of the office. They didn't even leave politely. Irv was tight when he seen it. Because remember, his artist was beefing with 50 Cent. Answer that. Caller. Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. Thank you for calling in the scripts.
Hey,
Shalom, Cap. Most High Christ bless. This is the guy right here, bro.
Hey,
What's going on?
shalom, brother. Officer Zakai, Most High in Christ
Hey,
bless.
shalom, Officer Most High in Christ bless.
Thank you for calling
Hey,
in,
shalom, Most
brother.
High Christ bless. Yeah, bro. I just saw the text right now. I'm like, oh, let me call my bruh.
Yes, man. What's going on? What do you think about tonight's topic with your boy Lyor Cohen?
Hey, listen, I didn't get a chance to listen to the show. Like I said, I just got the text, so I didn't hear everything. But you know how it is. What were y'all talking about exactly? But you know, I got a definite comment or opinion on that man.
Yes. Yes.
What were y'all talking about exactly?
Oh, just
the way he's stealing and robbing every damn thing.
Yes, the culture vulture mentality. That eagle, raven, Jewish claw mentality. Right.
Yeah, bro. I mean, this is how the whole industry is, and I played around in the industry for a little while back in '90s and early 2000s, and the bottom line is just that dumb people right there, they just wait for the next new thing to come, and then they want to basically own it. You know, so your contract is going to reflect that. You know, people know about what's known as the 360 deal. I don't know if y'all went over that tonight.
Yes,
but
we
as
went
far
over
as
the
like
360
city,
deal.
right? So you basically got to share everything with these people, and they're sharing nothing with you. Like, although they say they're putting you out there, what are they really putting out there? They're not putting anything of their own creativity or nothing like that.
Yeah.
So they basically run with everybody. So if they got 10 groups, they take from all 10 groups. At the end of the day, they just throw you away. And that's the game, man.
That's crazy.
That's the game.
You know what's crazy? You said, officer, about the 360 deal, how they profit off of everything. You mean you have an
Right.
artist who might make a Q-tip to clean his ears with his name on it. They want to profit off of that Q-tip.
Yeah, and let me tell you, the original 360 deal happened a long time ago. This was in the 90s. And what that was that basically they used to give you big budgets. So if they give you a budget, like now there's hardly no money. But at that time, they would give you like $250,000, $300,000 up front or $350,000 for like a new artist. You get in there, if you can't recoup that money through sales, and let's say, for instance, you wind up leaving music. If you get a regular job, they would garnish your regular job to pay back the money. That was the original 360. I don't know if they called it that at the time, but that was the original deal.
Wow.
So I knew a couple of artists that had that in their contract. So if they would, let's say, for instance, you go to school, become a lawyer. Now that you're a lawyer, you still got to pay back, you know, whatever record company the money that you took from them.
Wow.
It's crazy, bro.
So that would be what they call an advance, the advance, right?
Right. Yes, they advance you some money, right? So whatever money they advance you, they have to recoup that off of your sales. So if they give you $350,000, then you have to sell $350,000 first before you collect a check. But what they don't tell you is, on top of the $350,000 that they give you in your hand, they're still putting money into marketing and taking you on trips and all of that. So in reality, you might be in the hole for $750,000.
Wow.
So 9 out of 10, you won't even have them paid off by the time your album has its run. So when you come back for your second album now, they give you another $350,000. You're already 1.1 or whatever in the hole. Then they add another 3, so now you're like 1 point. You know what I'm saying? 1.4 in the hole, and the same thing goes on and on. So that's that business, man. And it's set up by like you said, the damn Amalek. They set that up so they can always own you.
Always own you. Yep. Like
They can
do with
always own
everything.
you.
You know what's crazy,
You know?
man? Because I heard somebody say their job was to keep the artist at low cost by any means necessary. I heard Lyor Cohen say that before. So let me ask you something, officer. What do you think is the best solution for our people now with this this culture?
In terms of the music?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Because we got righteous
Well,
music in Israel.
That's
so
right.
what
Right,
do you
right,
think is a solution?
Well, oh man. Well, the only solution is it's just like what we doing, right? We pushing our music to a certain level, but we can't really, because remember, now you have social media and all this stuff that's pushing music, which anybody can use, right? The problem is, in order to really get popular, you got to be doing stupidity. So in your Instagram, you got to be in the club, popping bottles, doing this, doing that, doing everything crazy in order for people to really get a look at you. So in terms of the righteous music, that's not really going to roll with us. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to work like that. But still in this day and age, we still got to go ahead and kind of push our own thing. And like I said, with us, like how we do it here with Original Royalty IUIC, is we just try to roll together as a unit. So when everybody's putting out music through, say, one label, this is going to get the people to look at us, and I believe the Most High is going to grow us in His way. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as us following like all the traditional ways of music, no, that's not going to work.
And
It's not
also, we can't have any covetousness amongst us. We got to have loyal brothers. We got to be loyal and no covetousness. That's going to be, and of course, applying the commandments. That's going to be the recipe for success.
Right. Absolutely. Because in the music business, that's what it's all about. Covetousness, envy. Anybody who's listening to you right now and they've been in the business, they know how it is. It's one of the worst businesses I ever was involved in. I've been involved in, different business outside, private business, this and that. The music business was the worst because it brings the worst out of you. You can't be a regular person in there. Like if you just go, like you're gonna become something. You either gonna become a homosexual, you're gonna become some kind of a sisters, lesbian, prostitute. You're gonna do something. You're gonna grab the gun. You're gonna do something. It's no way around it. It's such a disrespectful business that if you're like a man who really is prideful in your own manhood, you're not going to be able to accept what's going on in there, and things are going to get a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's horrible, bro. It's horrible. I don't know. I would tell you right now, regardless of if you're not in the truth, you're just an average regular person. I would say don't even get into the music business.
Wow.
It's trash.
And the Edomite, Amalekite dude that we're speaking about tonight, Culture Vulture, Lyor Cohen, he left and he left the 300 Entertainment record label he started, and he went to YouTube. And he partnered with YouTube. So what's going on with that? Enlighten us on that.
Man, that's excellent for a guy like him because he recognizes that YouTube is probably the most powerful vehicle out here. You understand? So no matter, like you said, he started a company, but he only has a finite amount of groups, maybe 5, 6, 7 groups he might have signed originally, maybe went up to 10. But with YouTube, what do you have? You have everybody and their mother. People who's unknown, known, and everybody else is coming through YouTube. So you know what kind of money that's generating? Not only that, but YouTube pays out the least. You understand? So you brought up before about how he says about keeping artists at the least. YouTube pays out because they do pay out money, but they pay out the least. So you're getting everything for a small fee. This is any businessman's. You know what I'm saying?
So that's
any
his
good
heaven,
businessman
right?
wants to do that.
He's
make a lot and have a very low overhead.
So he's in heaven right now.
Oh my gosh, this guy, he's laughing right now.
Laughing his way to the bank. So he has foresight.
Yeah.
So the same way he has foresight, Officer Zakai, we have to have foresight, especially with this righteous music and and this truth. All right, all praises, man. All praises. Officer Zakai, thank you for calling the show, brother.
Yeah, all praise to the Most High, man. It's good speaking to y'all, brothers.
All right, brother.
Real.
Thank you.
All right. Most High, praise bless.
Hey, Cap, can I say something about that? So what you would look at, what the officer just said is big because when you take YouTube, okay, all record labels had a distribution side to them.
Close that out. You close that out.
All of them had a distribution side to them. So if you were a label, let's say you have a small label, you're already producing stuff. Let's look at say Master P and those guys, right? You already have enough money. You've got the artists. You've got the studio to record. You've got the music, the producers. You can put the whole thing together. You need somebody to put it out. What this does, if with him being over YouTube, is it gives him the ability to now go through and create and bring up artists to be bigger artists through a platform that's already distribution ready. He's already distributing it directly online to millions of people. So if he moves it to a point of where he can get you to have to pay for it, anybody that he finds that uploads their stuff on YouTube, there's actually what he considers to be hot music, he can move them over to that side, pay them pennies, but turn them into stars in their community and be making real money off of it on the back end.
Wow.
So this is really a hell of a platform for him to...
So he has the foresight of that.
Right.
But the Most High is going to use YouTube to push his platform, all right, by using us. So All right. You had anything to bring out, brother?
No, that was pretty much was it, man. We went over pretty much, man. All praises to them brothers that called in from L.A. and New York. A lot of insight on what's going on in the music business. So that's pretty much what it is, man. DJ Khaled was one of the guys, man, that does that type of thing on a smaller level. He's one of the biggest vulture coaches we got going on right now, because a lot of guys like Neo Brown, that down in Miami, one of the underground type of rappers that he had, he said, man, Cali tried to give me one of those slave deals with that 360 deal. He said, man, for my shows, Cali even wanted me to give 20% of my shows. And when it all boils down to, Nino Brown was only going to get 30%, Cali's getting 70%.
Wow. Off of his talent.
Off of his talent.
Wow. But he wasn't using his beats, though.
No, he wasn't using his beats. Matter of fact, Neo Brown said Cali was biting a lot of stuff off of him. Right. So that's like the real definition of a culture vulture.
Damn.
He'll come up with the idea almost like Bonnie Rubble and Fred Flintstone. You know, Fred would take all the credit for Bonnie Rubble's ideal. You know what I mean? Right. So Neo Brown was saying Cali was doing that same thing, and he keeps on doing it. So he really trying to expose Cali for what he is. You know?
Yeah. Wow.
A culture vulture.
Brothers and sisters online, who are thinking about the music business, man, stay away from them slave contracts, man.
Right.
Or Esau is gonna have you by the testicles. All right. So, Officer Lemuel, anything to bring out?
Did y'all already bring out the love of money?
Oh no, I quoted it, but read it. Let's bring it out. I quoted it though.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 10. It says, "For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith." So everything that Lyor Cohen and all these other executives are after, it's all money. All money. It's all covetousness. And our people run headlong into that, because I think it was the brother Jay Flex. When you come from nothing, when you coming from the bottom and somebody throws some crumbs at you, hell, you'll sell your soul to get up out of the hellhole that you in.
Right.
So y'all gotta come up out of that stuff, man. That music industry and all of that stuff, man, you'll sell your soul and you'll do anything, like Officer Zakai said, whether it be homosexuality, whether it be prostitution and all that stuff, man. Gotta come up out of that stuff.
Damn. Yep. Well, repent or die.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
All
it.
right. Brothers and sisters, thank you for following us in the Scripts Reloaded. Subscribe to IUIC Dallas if you haven't. Subscribe to IUIC in the Classroom. All right. We have IUIC Dark Ages on Facebook as well. All right. The Day of Atonement is approaching. I pray all you brothers and sisters take heed and keep the Day of Atonement, repent of our sins, ask Christ for forgiveness, and go to your brother and sister who you might have had an issue with this year. All right? All praises to the Most High. Shalom.
Shalom.
You're listening to In the Scripts Reloaded.